What's everybody's take at this stage of LeBron as a Los Angeles Laker? Are you guys still enjoying a 39-year-old about to be 40 doing what he's doing in a Laker jersey? Are you still enjoying um, one of the greats to ever do it, one of the icons of the game, 22 years on a night in, night out basis? Are you still enjoying what LeBron is bringing to the table every single night? Here's why I'm asking the question. I'm asking the question because I feel like I got a good pulse of what's going on around Lakers basketball for a couple of reasons. A, I watch every single game. I do post-game shows. I'm constantly looking for other ways to talk about the Lakers. I'm always reading different stories, taking different perspectives. And I enjoy covering the team. Genuinely, I still enjoy covering the team, even though I've been doing it for 8 years, and it feels like when there's a Laker game coming up, I'm looking forward to the game coming up. I feel like right now there is a ton of negativity around Braun. And I'm trying to identify exactly what it is. I'm trying to identify it because let me kind of give a little bit of what people say about LeBron. Okay. They say that I'll just use a couple of the comments that I looked at for a quick second. Some of the comments might say, well, he's washed. He's no longer good. Other comments may say they don't like how much influence he has on this Lakers team. His son's on the team. Obviously, Bronny's on the team. I mean, a side story last night, Lakers are up big enough. They're up big enough at the end of the game, and the crowd is chanting, "We want Bronny." Well, it wasn't about, getting the win or anything like that. It was already out of the way. We want Bronny. We want LeBron's son to be in the game. So some people, I know there's negativity around LeBron because they feel like he's got too much influence on the team. JJ Redick's the coach. That's the guy that he was doing a podcast with. That there's just so much everywhere you turn, you feel like LeBron's fingerprints are in there. And whether the Lakers team would tell you that that's not the case, whether LeBron would say, I have nothing to do with anything. Okay, I think we could all be smart enough to know Bron does have the power and he should have the power. And Bron uses that power because he does understand he is still box office and there's 41 nationally televised games for the Lakers. And he does understand that every time LeBron James' name is mentioned, whether positive or negative or however you want to look at it, people are talking about him. He's still selling tickets. He's still selling jerseys. He's still selling out arenas. That's what LeBron's still doing. You guys got to understand something. There's a side of this that is strictly basketball. There's the other side of this that's business. And Bron, for 22 years, has been good for both. He's been good for basketball and he's been good for business. But I ask this question to Laker fans because for me, it's more about what do Laker fans want to see? Are Laker fans this era of LeBron James? Because I will tell you this. If you don't have an appreciation or respect of what LeBron has brought to the Lakers is this his 7th year, I want to say, with the Lakers? If you don't have an appreciation or respect, then I can't really have a conversation with you because LeBron took a franchise that was going nowhere and made them relevant again. Every single night he made them relevant again. You guys remember those years, towards the end of Kobe's career, with Jim Buss and with Mitch Kupchak and signing Luol Deng and signing Timothy Mozgov. You guys remember what that Lakers team was. You guys remember what that franchise was. The moment LeBron got here, instantly they became relevant again. And for those that want to sit back and say, yeah, but they traded the farm for Anthony Davis. There's not a GM out there that wouldn't have traded the farm for Anthony Davis who's walking into his prime. There wasn't. And for those that want to go out there and say, yeah, but, he's got too much influence on the team. All right, they won an NBA championship. They got to the Western Conference Finals. Here's the thing. I'm not even trying to make a case for LeBron. All I'm trying to tell you is you should at least appreciate what LeBron has brought to this franchise over X amount of years. Because if you can't appreciate what LeBron has brought to the franchise, then it's tough to have a back and forth dialogue about LeBron because you're just hating. You're not appreciating or respecting what he brought to this franchise. Now, if the question is, oh, no, I respect all of what he's been able to do. I completely understand what this icon has brought to the Laker franchise. I completely respect that this is his 7th year with the Lakers. Not like he was here for 2 years or 3 years. Remember, in Miami, he was only there for 4 years. But if the conversation you're having about LeBron has more to do with, no, it's from this point moving forward, I'm good. That's a different conversation. And I think that's a fair conversation. I think this point moving forward, there was a video here, and I'm going to play it here for you guys. It's a little bit of I'm going to just make sure it's at the right time here. Michael Wilbon inside the NBA was doing his thing on ESPN. And the reason why I want to play this is because the conversation right now has less to do with what are the Lakers going to do at the trade deadline. The conversation right now is, will LeBron be a Los Angeles Laker by the time we get to the trade deadline? As in, people are not even talking about Lakers. Remember 3 weeks ago, we were saying who the Lakers going to go get. There's a poll that Trevor Lane and Lakers Nation put out that I thought was fascinating. The conversation is starting to shift. The conversation right now has less to do, in my opinion, it's looked like it's got less to do with the Lakers specifically and trying to make a run. It has more to do with what are the Lakers going to do moving forward? And Bron's name has come up a couple times. Let me play this here real quick for you guys because I think this is an interesting conversation in itself. Here's Michael Wilbon, obviously one of the OGs in the business. Take a listen to him talking about the Warriors and specifically LeBron. Take a quick listen here.
With the person I'm saying add either. But if you tell me, if anybody watched the Olympics, Brian Windhorst, this summer, and you saw LeBron James and Steph Curry play together, how can you not want to see that? I'm not saying it's easy. Wendy will tell us how possible, if it is at all. But you tell me at this point, the Lakers stink. All right? The Lakers are not going to do anything. The Lakers are not any good. You have AD and LeBron playing 90% of the games, and they're a 7th and 8th seed at best in the West. Is LeBron going to ride out another season like that? Why would he? Why does he need to? If LeBron James decides he wants to contend this season, you know what Wilt once did? He lived, not once, he lived in L.A., but he played in Philly. So LeBron, how fast is it? How long did it take a G6 to get from San Francisco? You'd probably know.
27.
A G6, 27. You can't play in San Francisco and live in Los Angeles if you want to. This is tailor-made for those two guys to play together and finish their careers.
That's why I love it when.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Do you guys hear what he said? Do you guys hear a couple things that came out of what Wilbon said right there? Number one of the things he said was, Lakers stink. They're not going anywhere. They're a 7th or 8th seed at best. That's Wilbon saying that, right? And I think, one of the things, there's certain people that I know, if Michael Wilbon says something, he's saying something not to get your attention. Michael Wilbon's saying something because that's what he believes. Michael Wilbon's saying something because he believes that there are no question about it. There are some kind of, not indication, not inside scoop, none of that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about more that Wilbon believes that the Lakers are not going anywhere. So why not just let LeBron go play the final couple of years, 1 year, 2 years left, whatever he's got left. Let him go play in some real playoff competition. I know most Laker fans. By the way, I don't even care. I don't even know if Laker fans even care if he got traded and he went to the Bay. He went to Golden State. Would they say to themselves, how can you do that? It's the Warriors. Is there really a rivalry against the Warriors right now? I don't really think so. I think it's just Golden State's done what they've done over the last 10 years. Lakers have done what they've done, even beating the Warriors in the playoffs. What was that? A couple years ago, they beat Memphis, and then I think with the year they got to the Western Conference Finals. I'll just say this about LeBron, and I'm going to read some of your comments here in just a second. I will say that for the first time for me, there is curiosity of what's this franchise going to look like after LeBron? What's it going to look like? And I go out of my way here because I do love the game of basketball. I still think it's ridiculous he's doing what he's doing. And I can appreciate what Bron is doing at this stage of his career. I got some people, and if LeBron drops 30 and has 9 assists and 9 rebounds, people are going to put in the chats, or I'm going to have somebody text me and say, yeah, but he had 6 turnovers. You're not wrong. He had 6 turnovers. But can I stop you here for a second? 39-9 at 39 years old, about to turn 40. What the man is still doing makes no sense to me. I don't understand how he's been able to take care of his body and still be this effective in the NBA for this long. But I also feel like there are a lot of Laker fans that are ready to turn the page. Now, you got to be, I will warn you here. I don't know what the next chapter looks like for the Lakers. I don't. We talked about this on Friday. Jovan Buha put it out on his podcast where he was talking about how, hey, if LeBron decides to leave or retire or whatever, let's just say LeBron retires. Let's say he retires at the end of the season. I'm making up a scenario. Does Anthony Davis, is it a guarantee that Anthony Davis says, hey, I want to stay a Laker? I don't know what that next chapter looks like. But I think there are a lot of Laker fans that are very quick to say, hey, it's time to move on. Hey, it's time to rebuild. Hey, it's time to figure out what the next step is going to be. And, based on some of your comments here, and I haven't really looked at them, to be honest with you, but I'm going to start looking at them right now. That's my curiosity of Laker fans is, do you feel like, okay, I got my LeBron fix. I got my fix in for X amount of years. He's been phenomenal while he was here. He helped the Lakers win championship number 17. He's made the team interesting. That whole stuff. But I'm ready for the next chapter. Or you might be somebody that says, hey, until this guy decides I'm done, then I'm watching LeBron and I'm watching Lakers basketball and I'm hoping LeBron continues to make it happen. Okay, let's see what we got here. So everybody knows this isn't I'm not comparing LeBron to other Lakers. That's not the point of this conversation. LeBron is washed. Okay. Got somebody saying LeBron is washed here. Let's see. I was over LeBron in 2022. Okay. Listen, this is the main thing I want to get across here. I just want you guys to be honest. And I don't care whether that narrative means keep LeBron for another 5 years or get rid of LeBron yesterday. I don't care. My job is to I want a pulse of how you guys feel, and then we'll go from there. So, okay, here's another one. I was over LeBron 2022. Slee, it's time to rebuild. All right, I'm going to go to that tweet here that I got from Trevor Lane. He put out over the weekend, and that's actually, I think, an interesting story. Okay, here's another one. Time to trade. Here's another one. Rebuild now. Okay, here's a good perspective. All the people saying nope, as in they don't want LeBron, remember what it was like before he got there. It was brutal. It wasn't just brutal. Great house is king. It wasn't just brutal. No. It was the worst stretch of Lakers basketball since I don't know what it was like in the 60s and the 70s, but I know that the Lakers were either winning championships or getting to the finals, probably losing to the Boston Celtics. But I'll tell you this, since the team moved and since Dr. Jerry Buss took over, it was the worst stretch of Lakers basketball by far, not even close. I think Dr. Jerry Buss, since he bought the team in 79, 80, by the way, they won an NBA championship. Magic suited up at center, and he went to Philadelphia without Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Game 6. From that point, 1979, 1980, all the way till, I want to say it was like 2013 or 14. Lakers hadn't made the playoffs twice. They were a lock every single year to make the playoffs. And then you had a 5-6 year window where the Lakers had no idea what the hell was going on. So I think it's a good perspective to say, don't forget what it was. But I will say this, I think a lot of people are not forgetting what it used to be. What they're saying is we're in the current moment now. What's it going to look like today and what's it going to look like tomorrow? Let me see some more of these. Some people on here saying LeBron, too much drama. Here's another one. Remember before LeBron, Lakers had 16 championships. Okay. LeBron also made you relevant again. And the 16 NBA championships was dating back to 2010 before. LeBron didn't come. If you guys remember, what year did LeBron come? He come in 19? Lakers went through an awful stretch, and it's obviously unfortunate to remember that. If you depend on a 4-year-old to bring a championship, you live in Disneyland. Well, I don't think. Well, no. I think to an extent they are depending on a 40-year-old to an extent. All right, let's see what else we got here. I'm going to kind of forward here because I know there's a lot. Lakers reload. I think that means rebuild. The Lakers were rebuild, get a bunch of young stars, then trade them away for an old, aging, washed-up superstar. Okay? I see what you're saying right there, but if I told you can go back and not make that trade for Anthony Davis and also not have LeBron here, it just wouldn't be a smart decision to do that. What did Julius Randle become? I'm a fan of Brandon Ingram. He's the third best player on the championship team. Josh Hart is a role player. Like I'm a fan of those young players. Those weren't franchise players. Tell me in that trade where Tatum was. Tell me in that trade where Wembanyama was. Just think of the top players in the league right now. Tell me in that trade where, I don't know if Anthony Edwards is a good example, but tell me in that trade where there was a bona fide superstar franchise player, you're not touching them. There wasn't. The only player that was a part of that was the player that came back from the Lakers, came back to the Lakers, which was Anthony Davis. All right, let me show you guys a tweet here real quick. And this is where I think people are on this topic, on this conversation. Trevor Lane had put out a tweet. Trevor Lane's the best, by the way. Look at this dude. I mean, you want to talk about people loving and respecting Trevor Lane. I'm one of them, by the way. Trev put out a tweet over the weekend. Look at this, 8,862 votes. This dude is a beast. Trev put out a tweet. Here's Trev's tweet. Laker fans, what do you want the Lakers to do? All in, win now, rebuild, stay the course. All right. Let me explain why this tweet is so interesting. It's so interesting to me because after everything that we just said, 61% of Laker fans are saying, no, but go all in. Wait, which one is it? Do Laker fans want to rebuild? Do they want to start shopping LeBron and see what you can get from the Warriors? Or, obviously LeBron's going to have to agree and LeBron's going to have to be in a situation where he's got a chance of winning a championship. And who knows, maybe LeBron says, I'm not going anywhere. I'm spending the rest of my career right here. But which one is it? The all-in win now is the one that right here in front of us says, that's not trading LeBron. That means you're basically going out there and you're making moves. That means you're basically out there and you're making trades as we sit here right now. That means you're trying to go make a move right now to make yourself competitive again. That means you're trying to hang with the teams like the Dallas Mavericks and the Denver Nuggets and go down the list of all the other teams in the Western Conference. Oklahoma City, Houston's in that conversation. Memphis is in that conversation. So I feel like, I think for Laker fans out there, there is this, I'm so sick of watching LeBron James, but I don't think there is this, okay, yeah, what's next? And what has LeBron done, you think, to hurt the Lakers? Whether you might sit here and say, well, they shouldn't have traded for Russell Westbrook. You're not wrong. You might say, well, they signed JJ Redick, and I don't know if he's going to be the right coach. He's too young. Okay, I don't have an answer for that. But it does feel like there is, a ton of Laker fans out there that are at least looking at this LeBron window and saying to themselves, I respect what he's done. Are we going to keep doing this? And are we going to keep doing this for how many more years are we going to continue to do this? Okay, a couple more comments, and then I want to shift to I'm going to start shifting a little bit to baseball here. All right, let me find a couple more here. Key, it would be a painful 7 years. Yeah, listen, this is the one thing I will just say about the Lakers if a rebuild starts. And I'm not opposed to a rebuild. I'm not. But the Lakers are not good at rebuilding. They're just not. They don't have the patience. They don't feel like they need to rebuild because they are such an attractive destination, because they are the number 2 market in the country, because they have a brand as popular as any team, forget the NBA, as popular as any brand, period. The Lakers are as popular from a brand perspective. Yankees, Cowboys, Manchester United. I don't know. Think of Fortune 500 companies, Apple. That's how important. That's how big their brand is. So I think there's a little bit of part of the Lakers why they don't rebuild is because they don't feel like they ever have to. But they do need to be a lot more strategic with what they do moving forward, because I don't know what that future looks like. I don't know what the Lakers are in 2 years from now. I don't know if Anthony Davis is leading the team. I have a lot of hesitation towards that. You better go find a player better than Anthony Davis if LeBron's not here. AD has proved year after year he's an unbelievable player, but is he that alpha, give me the damn keys, get the hell out of the way. No, I haven't seen that. There might be some moments, but definitely not on a consistent basis. Slee, if you're talking to a wall with these fans, they rather relive the Robert Stock way than root for LeBron in any way. The hate part I have some trouble with. The hate part on LeBron I have some trouble with. I have some trouble because I don't think I fully understand it. I try to sit in that perspective, but I don't think I do a great job of understanding that. I got, I got family members that will say, "Oh, I'm so sick of LeBron." I'm like, okay, but why? Well, because he gets so much attention and he gets this. I'm like, okay, but what's he? Guy at least still delivers on the court. The guy's at least making it happen on the court. Okay, that's enough there. We did more than I thought there on this topic, but I knew it was going to be an interesting conversation. And like I said, and whether you're watching this live or you're watching this later recorded, your thoughts, on LeBron James as a Laker. Are you ready for that chapter to end? Or no, I'm going to play this out. When that man retires, and I hope it's in a Laker jersey. So you guys can feel free to give your thoughts there.